Across the South, Sunday dinner once followed a familiar rhythm. Families cooked larger meals, kitchens stayed warm for hours, and dessert marked the moment when the day finally slowed down. This video looks at 20 desserts that regularly appeared on Southern Sunday tables, where they came from, and why families came to expect them week after week. These weren't special occasion treats. They were familiar endings to meals shaped by church schedules, seasonal ingredients, and routines passed down through generations. What you're about to hear isn't just about food, it's about how everyday habits quietly define the end of the week, and what changed when those habits faded. For decades, these desserts weren't thought of as special. They were simply what came after Sunday dinner, served once the table was cleared and the house settled back into quiet. Sunday dessert didn't appear by chance. It grew out of church schedules, seasonal ingredients, and recipes passed down through handwritten cards and community cookbooks. Home cooks relied on what they kept in the pantry, what grew nearby, and what their families expected to see on the table every Sunday afternoon. As extension service pamphlets and regional cookbooks spread through small towns, desserts became more standardized, but the rhythm remained the same. Chess pie holds one of the longest documented histories in Southern baking. It earned its place on Sunday tables because every ingredient stayed on hand year-round. Butter, sugar, eggs, and a small amount of cornmeal created a pie that set well in warm kitchens, allowing families to bake it earlier in the day and serve it long after the main meal ended. Lemon pound cake traced its roots to older British baking traditions and fit easily into Sunday routines because it sliced cleanly and held its shape. Tube pans helped it bake evenly, and by the early 20th century, extension service pamphlets had helped standardize recipes, giving families a dependable cake that stayed fresh throughout the afternoon. Coconut cake carried a sense of celebration even on ordinary Sundays. Once shredded coconut became widely available in the late 1800s, Southern home cooks embraced it quickly. Tall white cakes covered in coconut turned simple tables into something that felt closer to a holiday gathering. Banana pudding became a Sunday fixture after vanilla wafers were widely promoted in the 1920s. Earlier versions baked slowly and were topped with meringue instead of whipped topping, helping the dessert hold its structure. Families often assembled it in the morning and served it warm or at room temperature once heavier dishes were finished. Egg custard pie remained common because its ingredients stayed inexpensive and reliable. It baked evenly alongside other dishes and cooled throughout the afternoon, offering a lighter finish to meals built around meats, vegetables, and cornbread. Vinegar pie appeared, frequently in Appalachian and Deep South communities where lemons were not always available. Early church cookbooks show how vinegar created the brightness usually supplied by citrus, keeping the dessert practical and familiar on Sunday menus. Sweet potato pie reflects deep African-American culinary traditions. Sweet potatoes grew well in Southern soil, stored easily, and appeared in both savory and sweet dishes. In many rural households, the pie became a dependable Sunday dessert built around crops families already relied on. What made these desserts last wasn't indulgence or novelty, it was reliability. Families trusted them to be there at the end of the week, just as much as they trusted the routines that surrounded Sunday dinner itself. Blackberry cobbler fit naturally into Sunday routines during late spring and summer. Families picked berries as they ripened and often baked them the same day. Some cooks used dropped biscuit dough, while others preferred lattice crusts. But community cookbooks across the region consistently point to blackberry cobbler as a warm weather favorite. Peach cobbler followed a similar path but stretched further into the year. Peach-growing regions like Georgia and South Carolina helped popularize the dish, and canned peaches kept it on Sunday tables long after fresh fruit disappeared. As much as flavor mattered, practicality mattered more. These desserts fit into the flow of Sunday itself, made ahead, served calmly, and never demanding attention after a long meal. Buttermilk pie gained popularity in areas where buttermilk stayed plentiful. Served chilled or at room temperature, its mild flavor paired well with richer dishes prepared earlier in the day. Bread pudding offered a practical way to use leftover biscuits or stale bread from the week. By soaking the bread in custard and baking it slowly, families created a comforting dessert that fit naturally into Sunday traditions built around resourcefulness. Ambrosia entered Southern food culture once oranges and coconut became easier to find. Its cool, bright flavor set it apart from heavier desserts, and many families reserved it for Sundays, holidays, and church gatherings. Prune cake gained traction during the 1930s through the 1950s, when prunes added moisture and sweetness at a time when fresh fruit was limited. Mid-century Southern cookbooks list it as a reliable cake for Sunday dinners and potlucks. Fig preserves cake grew especially strong in Mississippi and Alabama, where fig trees were common in home gardens. Preserved in late summer, figs became part of cakes served throughout the year and often saved for Sundays. Icebox lemon pie rose in popularity once home refrigeration became more common in the 1930s. Its cool, tart filling offered relief during warm months and helped keep kitchens from overheating after long cooking days. Caramel cake became widely recognized across the Deep South. Preparing the caramel icing required steady attention at the stove, which meant families often saved this cake for Sundays when time allowed. Hummingbird cake spread rapidly after Southern Living published a recipe in 1978, though earlier versions already circulated in many homes. The combination of bananas, pineapple, and pecans quickly earned a place at Sunday dinners and church homecomings. Apple stack cake reflects Appalachian traditions at their core. Thin layers filled with spiced applesauce deepened in flavor as the cake rested, making it ideal for Sundays when it could be prepared ahead of time. Molasses cookies remained common in households that kept molasses on hand, particularly before 1930. Their simple preparation made them an easy ending to Sunday meals. Cornstarch pudding appeared in older Southern cookbooks as a light, chilled dessert often served during warmer months, balancing heavier foods with a gentle finish. What ties all of these desserts together isn't indulgence, it's routine. Each one fit into a rhythm shaped by time, ingredients, and expectation, quietly marking the end of the week. These desserts didn't disappear because they failed. They faded as boxed mixes, store-bought sweets, and faster routines replaced the long hours once spent in home kitchens. Even so, their memory remains, and many modern recipes still trace their roots back to what families served after church on Sunday afternoons. They represent a time when families gathered around the table, shared what they had, and ended the week with something homemade, familiar, and unhurried.